Riddle time. What 6.9 inches feels surprisingly good in the hand and also a complete smart arse? That's right, it's Samsung's fresh new Galaxy S25 Ultra launched today over in San Jose. And your Uncle Spurt has had a bit of hands-on fondly time with it ahead of the launch to see how it compares with the previous S24 Ultra. So here's a rundown of the shiniest and freshest new bits of the Galaxy S25 Ultra compared with the previous generation. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first of all, the Galaxy S25 Ultra comes with the same storage options as before, 256 gigs up to a tasty terabyte. And all these models with the same price tag as the previous S24 Ultras. There hasn't been a price hike for 2025, thank f***. Let's face it, they weren't exactly cheap to begin with, and if you pre-order any of them via Samsung, you'll get double your storage. Do check out the links down in the description for your pre-ordering shenanigans. And the design of the Galaxy S25 Ultra has been tweaked and refined compared with the previous model. So for instance, the bezels have shrunk down, they're now 15% slimmer than before, although the screen has expanded into that available space. So the S25 Ultra is a similar width and height to the old model. And Samsung has managed to make it a wee bit lighter for this generation as well. It's now 218 grams, so a whopping 15 grams lighter than before. But more importantly, as confirmed by various leaks ahead of the launch, the Galaxy S25 Ultra now has more rounded corners, which is a massive relief because let's face it, the Galaxy S24 Ultra was far too pointy. And using this thing one-handed was about as comfortable as shaking hands with Freddy Krueger. Although one design refinement that not everyone will enjoy is the fact that those camera lenses now have those big thick bezels, similar to Samsung's bendy phones. It's a minor gripe at best though, and the good news is that all four of the Galaxy S25 Ultra colours are actually pretty banging. You've got titanium silver blue, titanium white silver, titanium grey, and titanium black, and they're all rather lush. You've also got yourself three online exclusives which I haven't had a chance to check out. These are titanium jade green, titanium pink gold, and titanium jet black, which I've been assured is so black that even Batman would vibe with it. Now the front of the Galaxy S25 Ultra is protected by Gorilla Glass Armor 2, which is slightly more anti-reflective than the previous generation, so still fantastic at reducing glare under strong lighting, and apparently even hardier than the previous generation as well, although Samsung in our hands-on session did not allow me to hoy it about the place to test that out. And apparently that titanium frame is even tougher than before. Those molecules are more tightly packed, like commuters on a London tube. And apparently it's a good bit of armor too around the arse action as well. As for the water resistance, well, fully IP68 rated just like the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Now that Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED panel hasn't changed up too much from the previous generation at all, although here on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, slightly bigger at 6.9 inches versus 6.8. This is once again a very bright and rather poppy display, of course full color customization in the display settings, but this can boost low resolution video to make it look extra crispy, and this is especially obvious when you're streaming low resolution YouTube clips at 480p or whatever. And the LTPO tech slightly upgraded as well, but certainly just from a watching a bit of Netflix or whatever viewpoint, you won't notice much difference at all between the S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra, especially if you're already watching quite high resolution content. And likewise, another powerful set of stereo speakers, which are just as strong on the S25 Ultra as the previous gen. And no surprises at what's running the show here. The performance is provided by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite, although it is the 8 Elite 4 Galaxy model, which means that Samsung and Qualcomm have collaborated in order to slightly pump it up a bit, sex it up with some overclock and all that good stuff. Although hey, let's face it, the standard Snapdragon 8 Elite is an absolute power twat. Don't think that's a word, but hey, it is now. So we can cope with absolutely anything out there. The likes of Wuthering Waves bumped up to the highest graphics settings running at 60 frames per second will be perfectly fluid. And the Galaxy S25 Ultra should hopefully remain cool under pressure as well, even if you're gaming for an hour, 2 hours, however long. Thankfully, Samsung has boosted the vapor chamber size, so it's now 40% bigger than the S24 Ultra. That should hopefully keep this smartphone nice and cool. But hey, check back for my full in-depth Galaxy S25 Ultra review to see how it really holds up to a bit of Wuthering Waves and Genshin action. Sadly, no boost in size for the battery. It's once again a 5000 mAh capacity cell. And again, you'll have to wait for my review to see if we've had any increase in battery life whatsoever. Samsung reckons you'll get an extra hour of video streaming from the S25 Ultra on a full charge compared with the S24 Ultra. And that's thanks to efficiency gains from OneUI tweaks and also the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is slightly more efficient than the previous 8 Gen 3, which powered the S24 Ultra. And sadly, for anyone who was hoping the S25 Ultra might charge up a bit faster than the S24 Ultra, now it's 45 watt wired charging once again and 15 watt wireless charging, although you do now have Qi 2 support, which means you'll get some snazzy magnetic wireless charging accessories. And once again, full support for reverse wireless charging if you need to power up your earbuds or your smartwatch or one of your various accessories on the move. And like the S24 Ultra, you've once again got Samsung's OneUI launcher on here, though it is OneUI 7 on the Galaxy S25 Ultra out of the box, complete with Samsung's standard 7 guaranteed years of OS and security updates. That puts it bang in line with Google's pledge, making it one of the most generous manufacturers out there as far as software support longevity is concerned. It does mean the S25 Ultra will be supported for an extra year compared with the old S24 Ultra because of course it's coming out 1 year later. And of course, no surprise that Samsung is once again fully pimping its AI shenanigans. AI is now fully integrated into OneUI in version 7. It's basically balls deep in this launcher. And a lot of these AI features happening on device as well, courtesy of the Snapdragon 8 Elite and its clever arse NPU. So the S25 Ultra doesn't have to communicate with the cloud to use most of the tools you'll find crammed in here. And as a result, quite a lot of the new features on the S25 Ultra might not be coming to previous generations like the S24 Ultra, which don't have that Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now swipe out the old Edge panel and you'll find the AI Select option in there. This can basically anticipate what you want to do based on what you're up to when you give it a jab. So for instance, if you're watching a video and you tap AI Select, this will bring up options like turning a snippet of the video into a GIF, which you can then share with your friends or do whatever you want with basically. This will smartly adapt to any situation. So for instance, if you're viewing a photo and you tap AI Select, it'll bring you up various options like turning the photo into your wallpaper. Or if you're reading a whole bunch of text, it can copy that text, it can translate it, etc, etc. It'll also have a good bit of cross-app action packed into Galaxy AI as well. It's a feature that I haven't had the chance to test out in my hands-on session because it won't be going live until after launch day. So for instance, you could take a picture of the contents of your fridge and then ask the AI to come up with some sort of recipe based on what you've got in there. Of course, it's got absolutely all chance with my fridge. If it can come up with a recipe using cans of lager and half a Greg's steak bake, I'll be very impressed. Or also, if you're halfway through a YouTube video, you run out of time, but you desperately want to know what happens in the rest of it, you can ask the AI to just summarize the rest of what happens in that video for you. A few wee bullet points for you to quickly check out. And apparently at launch, cross-app action will work with all of the Google and Samsung apps you get installed on that S25 Ultra, and also Spotify and WhatsApp. And then you can expect more third-party app support as time goes on. You've also got the Now Brief tool, which basically pops up a morning brief when you wake up, which can summarize how well you've slept, give you a summary on the weather, your schedule, all that kind of shenanigans. You'll also get a midday brief, which again just gives you a quick summary of any appointments coming up, lets you know what time you might want to leave for your next appointment if the traffic's particularly crappy. Finally, an evening brief, which basically recaps your day, whether you managed to hit your exercise goals, your step count, etc. And also flashes up any interesting photos you might have taken, apparently, in case you've already forgotten what you did that day. Which, yeah, to be fair, if you like a few evening beverages, like myself, things might already be a bit fuzzy. And you'll also now have a more intelligent lock screen thanks to the Now bar, which again flashes up any pertinent information, like for instance sports scores for your favorite team or teams. I believe there's 7 different sports supported at launch, including footy, cricket, rugby, etc. And again, stuff like your next calendar appointment and what time you might need to leave to make sure you're not late. It's kind of pertinent info, so you're not having to unlock your smartphone and search around for it. So hopefully less screen time, always a good thing. And then of course you've got all the standard AI gubbins, the likes of Gemini and Gemini Live, and a bit of circle to search as well, which is apparently even smarter now. So for instance, if you circle a promo for an upcoming event, it can automatically add it to your calendar for you. And then of course the Galaxy S25, as usual, comes packing Samsung's S Pen stylus, which is very similar to the previous generation, cunningly concealed in a corner orifice. Once again, it's light and comfortable to grip. In fact, the only real difference appears to be that the Bluetooth support has been axed for the S25 Ultra, so you can no longer wave it about the place, do those weird Harry Potter style gestures. And then lastly, the camera tech, and it's going to give any S24 Ultra owners serious deja vu because it's practically the same. Got the same 200 megapixel primary shooter, the same 10 meg and 50 meg telephoto shooters with up to 100 times space zoom, although zooming does feel a wee bit more responsive now. In fact, the only updated hardware slapped on the back there is the 12 megapixel ultra wide angle shooter has been ripped out and replaced with a spangly new 50 meg effort. So you can now shoot 50 meg high-res ultra-wide-angle snaps, and I'm hoping the low-light performance has improved as well. If you're shooting regular 12 meg snaps on it, hopefully with a bit of pixel binning, just brighten up those photos and ensure there's plenty of detail packed in there. And yeah, you got the same 12 meg selfie shooter as well if you're into all of that. Samsung has tweaked the camera app a wee bit, including shuffling around the main toggles, but you got all the same modes chucked on there as usual. And if you've got your very own Instagram style, you can actually craft your own filters right there in the camera app and save them so you're not having to constantly fiddle around with all the various settings. A few changes in the Pro video mode as well. So for instance, you can now film in log and then edit right there on the device. You'll also apparently have a virtual aperture setting in there so you can tweak the bokeh effect, get it just how you like it. While Samsung has also apparently worked alongside Qualcomm to ensure that low-light video looks even more crispy and less blurry than ever before. As for editing, well, there's a new on-device audio eraser tool, similar to what you get with those Pixel phones, for cutting down background atrocities when you're shooting video in public. And of course, lots of AI editing smarts for your pics as well, including an on-device best shot style mode, which can scan through a motion picture and pick out the best expressions. Quite handy if you're snapping kids or anyone else who can't stop blinking or gurning. You've also got more accurate object removal, you've got plenty of portrait studio style shenanigans as always, and the ability to tweak photos by adding in stuff that wasn't there, just by drawing it on screen. Sometimes this works terrifyingly well, although I was actually going for a pint of beer here, not bloody water. Sodding Samsung trying to discredit me. And of course, this can still be a bit balky, although admittedly my drawing of a hat with a flower coming out of it was a bit poo, so I'm not too surprised that AI thought it was an angry wasp instead. And anyway, that in a nutshell is the Galaxy S25 Ultra and all the fresh new tweaks and updates compared with the old S24 Ultra. So of course, if you've got an S24 Ultra, there's not enough here, I would say, to really warrant an upgrade to the S25 Ultra unless you're Byyyeeeee mega bucks and you don't really give a shit on what you spend your money on. Snapdragon 8 Elite is, of course, an absolute cracker, super powerful, but then the 8 Gen 3 and the S24 Ultra are still proper powerful as well, something good enough, beefy enough for all your gaming extravaganzas. Got very similar screen tech, very similar battery tech as well. It was basically the same battery tech, although apparently slightly better battery life on that S25 Ultra, we shall see. And not exactly many changes when it comes to the camera tech as well. The major upgrade for the S25 Ultra is mostly software based. It is mostly the AI tools that Samsung has packed in there. Although, as I say, not all of those will be backwards compatible with the likes of the S24 Ultra, as some of them do rely on that Snapdragon 8 Elite and its NPU smart arsery. So what do you reckon? Are you tempted by Samsung's Galaxy S25 Ultra? Definitely let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you are tempted, don't forget that pre-order link is in the video description, so you can check out all you need to know. Stick some money down, you get double your storage. Now, I've also gone hands-on with the Galaxy S25 and the S25 Plus. I'm going to get a video on those and the Ultra live very shortly. You should hopefully have unboxings and full reviews going live for you soon too. So to be sure you don't miss out on all that lovely Samsung-y gubbins, well, definitely please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.